I think he knows that, and I think he welcomes it. And we talked to all the players in New England, Joe. They can't wait for this game.
Well, not only that, a lot of the Rams players have never seen Bill Belichick's style of defense. So it's going to be new, and I would expect the first quarter to be a little bit of a sparring match until both of them figure out what exactly they want to do.
Strong candidate back to receive. He has blinding speed, and that's bad news for New England's cover team. They are the worst in the NFL. Incidentally, the Rams are next to last in that category. They are giving up 30.6 yards a return. Adam Vinatieri to kick it away for the Patriots. And we are underway in Foxborough. Candidate from the 4. Reverse. And it doesn't work. Mike Martz goes deep in the playbook to start with. Yo Murphy gets the handoff and taken down by Tabucky Jones.
On offense, the Rams will rely on Marshall Faulk. I believe he's got to get 150 yards from the line of scrimmage, passing and running. Ryan Tucker, he's got to handle the heat. Michael Strahan almost had his way with him when they played the Giants. And Kurt Warner, he's thrown 7 interceptions in the last 2 games. He's got to protect the football tonight against the Patriot defense.
Kurt Warner on the year, leading the NFL in completion percentage and yards coming into the weekend. He's ranked 5th in the league in quarterback rating. Warner throws. That may have been tipped at the line of scrimmage, knocked away by Roman Pfeiffer, the linebacker who was up in a defensive end spot.
And on the defensive side for the New England Patriots, Lloyd Malloy, contain Marshall Faulk if that's possible. I mean, he's got to just mirror this guy and be with him, especially on the running game and on the short passing game. Don't let him get deep. Willie McGinnis, he's in there as a starter. Disrupt Warner's rhythm. Not necessarily knock him down, but at least get into space. And then Ty Law, he's going to be on Isaac Bruce all night long wherever he goes.
Bruce this time flanks to the near side. Blitz coming. Warner has it batted again. This time it's Otis Smith coming off the corner. And this defense is sky high.
It's not only sky high, but what you're seeing is that the Patriots are not going to sit back and let the Ram offense take them apart. Nice job by Otis Smith timing his jump and keeping an eye on Kurt Warner. We've seen 2 passes, short passes, 2 balls batted down. Look for Mike Martz to put it up down the field where the guys rushing won't have an easy time getting to it.
Zahir Hakeem comes in as the 3rd wide receiver. He's number 81. Good protection for Warner. Bruce to midfield and into New England territory. Ty Law made the tackle, but nobody is going to be able to cover Isaac Bruce that long.
Boy, I'll tell you what, when you give Kurt Warner any time, he's going to complete it. But when you give him all the time, watch this. There isn't a blue jersey even close to Kurt Warner.
Look at that offensive line. And Kurt just waits for Isaac Bruce to work against Ty Law. You're right, Paul. He may be able to cover him in a short distance, but not when Kurt has a weak back there to look for him.
And Warner, one of the most accurate passers of all time. Faulk, the deep man in the eye. He'll get the toss. And Faulk will lose a yard.
Carried by Marshall Faulk. Stop made by number 30.
You saw the great pass blocking of the Rams 2 plays ago. They start up front with Orlando Pace, the first pick in the 96 draft, and Frank Garcia filling in for the injured Tom Newton. Andy McCollum is the center. Adam Timmerman, the 7-year veteran with 88 career starts, and Ryan Tucker, the right tackle. 2nd and 12. Warner short set again, and this one is dropped right in the hands of Torrey Holt.
If the St. Louis Rams have an Achilles heel, it is the fact that they throw the ball so much, they drop balls. Drop balls when they're wide open. Torrey Holt wide open inside, perfectly thrown pass, and it's knocked down. When they get behind in games or when they struggle, it's because their receivers don't hang on to the football.
3rd and 12. Three wide receivers, tight end, and 1 setback. Blitz coming. Pressure on Warner. Throws over the middle to Bruce, but it's well short. They stop him at the 46-yard line. Ty Law with excellent coverage again.
When you see Kurt Warner stand that long, first of all, it's a nice job by the offensive line. But the other thing that he's getting is multiple looks from this New England defensive secondary, and he's just not sure where he wants to throw it.
Troy Brown. Now Brown trotting up as the Rams line up in a different formation that gives them an indication they might have a trick play. So nobody back. And Baker with a low line drive kick that will go inside the 10-yard line. Be downed at the 8. A 38-yard kick, no return. So the Rams, Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk and company come up empty on their opening drive. The New England secondary, and if you heard the beginning of our broadcast, if you're an athlete, if you're a competitor, you want to face the best. They stared them down in the first series. Play action by Brady. Line of time. Throws underneath the tight end, Rod Rutledge, only his 3rd catch of the year.
And that's what the Patriots are going to have to do on offense. Get the ball up the field. Antoine Smith, I think he needs his 3rd 100-yard plus rushing game to be able to offset any rush that the Rams might bring. Troy Brown, all he does is make first downs. 2nd in the AFC in receptions going into tonight's game. And Tom Brady, he's got to be a playmaker. He's got to make plays. He's got to get the ball downfield, and they're going to have to get touchdowns.
Brady has struggled a couple of games, but 11 touchdown passes, 5 picks. This one, a fight for it at the 7-yard line. Threw it into a group.
Well, this was supposed to be a screen. I said supposed to be.
Scanina and Ahanatu knew it was a screen before Troy Brown did.
Well, you get to see what Troy Brown sees. All those people around there, they're just nowhere to go. That's one of those things you airmail it somewhere.
Well, that's one of those balls that when you got all those people around you, you're better off dropping it. Because you ended up losing 7 yards on the play.
3rd and 10. New England with 5 wide receivers. Brady steps up, throws Faulk. McLeon with the interception. Right through the hands of Kevin Faulk, and Dexter McLeon with a gift interception.
Well, here's an opportunity. 2 things can happen here. One, Brady could have run the ball and might have been able to pick up the first down. Here goes Brady. Look at the center of the field. There is just nobody in the center of the field. Now he just throws a hard ball to Faulk, and it goes up in the air.
Nah, he's got to make that catch. He has an opportunity for a first down. You didn't see it right there, but it really goes right through his hands, bounces off his chest, and the Ram defense, very opportunistic early in this football game. The load falls back again on New England's defense.
McLeon with his 3rd pick of the season. Last year he had 8. Faulk. Nice cutback inside the 15-yard line. Bobby Hamilton got him around the ankles.
Marshall Faulk, when you look at him, Michael, the things that he does, and the first thing that anyone ever says about him, other coaches, all of their players, and everybody that knows him, he is a very, very smart football player.
40 catches, leads the team, even though with all the time he has missed, averaging 5.7 a carry. And last week, in the first half alone, he gained 183 yards rushing against Carolina. Now that has to qualify as a gadget play, as they got Ernie Conwell, the fullback or the tight end in the backfield, and give him the ball, and Anthony Pleasant just creamed him.
I talked to Mike Martz down on the field, and he said Ernie Conwell is so important to this offense. The other tight ends may get the catches, but he is so vital to what we do. We use him out of the backfield, as you saw. We use him as a pass receiver, but he does a great job on blocking.
You give him the ball one more time like that, and he won't be a vital part of this.
He falls into the Jim Finn category.
Warner again, great protection over the middle. Touchdown, Holt.
Ty Law, man-to-man on Holt.
just
that was easy.
all the time in the world to sit in the pocket and look.
Torrey Holt is the number 88. Just watch this. He's going to end up with Ty Law. Ty Law takes a deep man, and there it is, man-to-man. Look at this throw. And that was a little bit behind.
Oh, will you get
a little bit.
so picky?
You got a guy out front. You got to leave him in the front. What a beautiful pass. What a great pass.
Kurt Warner not only had all day, there wasn't a defender within 5 yards of him. He gets a perfect look at everything and throws a strike to Torrey Holt. Rams on top in a hurry. Up here of just old churches and it's magnificent architecture and history in New England. Kevin Falk on the return. Tackle shy of the 25. Tom Brady has had one series through one interception. Back in a moment. Bledsoe nearly perfect. 5 touchdowns, no interceptions, including tonight. He is 6-6 since the last one, however, not his fault. Antoine Smith on the toss. Picks his way out to the 28-yard line. Drew Bledsoe, the 3-time Pro Bowler, a severe chest injury the 13th of September. Without him from 93 to 2000, the team was 1-6. It says something about Tom Brady that without him this year, they are 5-2.
It also says that he only missed 7 games in that period of time.
Yes,
shows
sir.
how tough he's been.
He proved a couple of years ago when he had that broken finger and played anyway how tough he was, what a great leader he was. Smith on the draw, cuts it outside. Couple of nice moves. Dives for the sticks at the 35-yard line. McCutcheon and Aeneas Williams were there.
Defensively, what the Rams have to do is Grant Wisterman, he's got to get in Brady's face. By that, I mean, here's a young quarterback. Don't let him sit back here and get comfortable. Adam Archuleta, stop Antoine Smith. He was not at the line of scrimmage to do it on that play. That's what he's got to do. And Aeneas Williams, don't let a big play get deep on him. And I can assure you that Aeneas Williams, as smart as he is, does not allow that to happen.
It won't happen.
It won't happen.
It shouldn't.
8 new starters on that Ram defense, including Aeneas Williams. They come in ranked 4th in the league defensively. Antoine Smith, McCleon has to make the tackle again, but not until he gets to the 39. And one of the reasons this defense is better, along with better personnel, is that guy, Lovie Smith. He told him the first day of training camp, everybody runs to the ball. I want 11 guys on the ball when somebody's on the ground. And if they don't do it even in practice, they get yanked off the field, and everybody runs to the ball. Good protection for Brady. Dumps it off. Smith out to the 43, down to Susie Moore on that Ram defense.
And Mike, it's been a remarkable turnaround for the Rams. Last year, they allowed the most points in the NFL, 471. They were trampled for an average of 29.4 a game. This season, almost 2 touchdowns less per game, and from close to the bottom of the pack to top 5. But you know what? Lovie Smith still grades them out as a B or B minus. Plenty of room for improvement. But again, more on him. They view him as one of the most special people they have ever had the privilege of being coached by.
Susie, every defensive player we talked to said so many good things about the defensive coaches, Lovie Smith and the rest. Highly respected by the guys that play for them. Brown on a little flanker screen, shakes one tackle, gets out to the 45-yard line. Adam Archuleta, the rookie safety out of Arizona State, made the tackle.
You know, we were talking to the Rams defense, Joe, and these guys, the first thing they say when you talk to Aeneas Williams and Wisterman, those guys, you know, what is the big difference? Because there are a lot of new players, Aeneas being one of them, Wisterman being one of the guys that stay. They said it starts right with the coaching staff. These are the guys that have made the difference in this team.
And one word describes the way they've been approaching it on both sides of the ball, really, is they're detail-oriented. Everybody has to be in specific spots.
Tom Brady, 4 out of 5 so far, but only 6 yards and an interception, and now movement up front. Was it Joe Andruzzi, the right guard, or did the Rams jump first?
I believe it was Joe Andruzzi.
False start. Number 6-3. Offense.
But you know what?
Penalty. 3rd down.
I like the fact that you have a young quarterback and he's going to hard counts. Now, some coaches are not willing to give that much flexibility to a young quarterback. Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator, feels like Tom Brady's got the full package. There he is at the center position. A little bit of hard down. Hut. There goes the hut. Rams, nice discipline.
He hard counted his own man.
That's the problem sometimes. You don't want to fool the guys on your side.
3rd and 9. Brady steps up under pressure and goes down the sack to Leonard Little. He has 9 this year. Boy, does he get off the ball.
Well, Robinson Randall, who is the right side tackle, I mean, he just goes around him, Leonard Little. I mean, it wasn't even slowed down. Watch it. Coming from the top side. Bang. Right there. Just, you don't slow the defensive end down. He's going to get there.
Ken Walter to punt it away. One of the most dangerous return men in the league is back there. Zahir Akeem.
Oh, great kick.
What's a beauty. Back to the 5. Nowhere to go. 57-yard kick. No return. Mike Vrabel, the linebacker, was down and pinned him at the sideline. 7-0 Rams. Back in a moment. Bill Belichick said these guys are so explosive, we have to be able to survive the initial onslaught. It's 7-0 right now. For Mike Martz, it is a 60-minute air show.
And Mike Martz has a reputation for being ruthless. The way you do that is you go for the juggler. I wouldn't be surprised he goes play action and goes up top.
Falk. Beautiful job of following his blockers all the way to the 13-yard line.
Pinball machine.
Well, you look at classic run. You look at him laughing. He got in behind that offensive line and the blockers in front of him, and he just didn't slow down. Marshall Falk, those were all the blockers are, what he has to do, and it was just kind of neat watching him.
Timmerman, Tucker, the right guard, right tackle. As a quarterback, you have the best seat in the house when a running back jumps on their back and just picks up 9 yards.
They've had a lot of 2 tight end sets with Conwell and Robinson. They're in there right now. Conwell in motion. Falk on another toss. Excellent blocking again, just shy of the 20. It'll be a first down. Ryan Tucker was out leading the play along with Robinson.
You cannot give Marshall Falk this much slack. Look at Ryan Tucker, number 50, as he pulls out the block. Marshall Falk's going to get in behind him. There's 50. Watch this block. Bam! And there goes Otis Smith backwards. Marshall Falk gets the first down. This is too easy.
Got everybody out front. James Hodgins.
Remember, last week they rushed for 337 yards. Rushed. They didn't need to pass. Warner down the middle of Bruce. Great move by Reverend Ike after he made the catch, got to the 45. He makes it look so easy, even against one of the best like Ty Law.
And there's little things in plays that impress you. Obviously, watch him turn on a dime. Great change of direction. Get Ty Law running, come on in, catch the ball. Now watch who makes this tackle. Willie McGinnis, number 55, really only playing in his 4th game, hustles all the way down the field from the line of scrimmage. That reminds you of Javon Curse with the Tennessee Titans.
Bruce, 53 touchdown catches, tied with Elroy Hurst. Warner snap throw to Ricky Prohl at midfield. Get down to the sideline for Susie.
Well, Mike, when Kurt Warner arrived on the scene with the Rams, Mike Martz said he's one of the smartest quarterbacks he had ever seen. In fact, he said sometimes he fixes things that Mike Martz would mess up. You have to be smart to run this offense. So many formations, so many shifts, 45 new plays a week are put in place. And Kurt says it definitely is complicated. You have to be able to read things quickly. He knows he's got the guys who can make the adjustments. As long as everybody knows why they're running certain plays, that's what the key is.
They are very bright, Susie. They have shown that. Falk underneath. What a great tackle by Otis Smith. Stopped him 2 yards shy of a first down.
This is where you see Marshall Falk all over the place. We see him in the way he's leading this team in receiving. He's in the slot out here. Otis Smith is the man that's going to play on top of him. He comes up and makes an excellent play. You give Marshall Falk that much room, he's going to get a first down. He didn't there.
I think against this offense, too, you have to be careful that your defensive backs are disciplined not to want to come up to the line of scrimmage and make a play.
Because they throw long a lot on 3rd and short.
Very easily.
Well, they got everybody within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage. Look at this.
Looked like offside Rams. They throw it to Torrey Holt, but he was the guy who moved early.
See what happens? He knows he's going to get the ball, so he's so excited he wants to get out into the secondary as quickly as possible.
Prior to the snap, false start. Kick. Offense. 5-yard. Down.
That's 2 mistakes for Holt. One was a drop ball. That was a motion penalty.
Well, they came right back to him for a touchdown. But when you look at this defense, you were absolutely right, Joe. They put the entire defense within 6 yards. There were 11 guys from the New England Patriots within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes when you have a play that happens like that, it's a non-play, but yet the defense has shown what they want to do. Mike Martz sees that standing on the sidelines. So look for him to come back with something maybe to take advantage of how close they are to the line of scrimmage.
Zahir Hakeem has a sprained ankle. We expect him to come back in the ballgame at some point. Yo Murphy is in as a 4th wide receiver on 3rd and 7. Warner picked off. Terrell Buckley. Nobody's going to catch him. T-Buck for the touchdown. What a time for your first interception of the year and the 39th of your career and the 5th time he's taken one to the house.
And you saw Mike Martz talking to Yo Murphy. Yo Murphy doesn't play a lot. Number 83. He is just in the way. Now, that was Isaac Bruce trying to really duck under the ball.
He ducked.
He did.
But that's got to be about your 4th reaction, isn't it? Ducking?
Well, especially when you're Isaac Bruce and you've got Kurt Warner throwing the football.
The Patriots defense, the key to Bill Belichick's success throughout his career, has tied this one up. Candidate from the 8. Just seam up the middle. This guy can fly and takes it to a 37-yard line.
I'll show you what happens. Isaac Bruce is going to come in here, and he's going to run a crossing route. Ricky Prohl, who's there, he's going to run a crossing route. Isaac is going to duck, and Terrell Buckley is just going to be right in the middle. There goes the different look. Now there it is right there, Terrell Buckley right in the middle. Watch Isaac Bruce right through Willie McGinnis' hands. Isaac Bruce is ducking because I believe he expects Ricky Prohl to be the receiver, and here they are. There's the conversation between Ricky Prohl and Kurt Warner.
And Prohl stopped his route. That's why Terrell Buckley had the free shot. Marshall Faulk back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Roman Pfeiffer again in on the tackle. He's really solidified one of those linebacker spots.
Michael, you brought up a terrific point that everybody that plays the Rams has to withstand that initial onslaught. They have to get used to the speed with which the Rams play. New England now has added momentum because their defense has made some plays against the highly touted offense.
2nd and 10. Blitz coming. They pick it up. Intercepted again. Bruschi. Teddy Bruschi down to the 40-yard line.
That play was to Ernie Conwell, and he gets intercepted, and Isaac Bruce makes the tackle and saves the touchdown on Bruschi.
Kurt Warner's going to get pressure up the middle. Here comes the blitz. He lets it go. Bruschi does a beautiful job of just reading his eyes. Marshall Faulk's the intended receiver. Teddy Bruschi making a play on the ball.
Bruschi's 2nd pick of the year. Well, what a great effort so far by the New England defense. And they've got the ball at the Rams' 40. Play action by Brady. Down the middle. Complete to the 17, Troy Brown.
Joe, I'm going to tell you one thing. He ran a play-action pass, and it froze the defense. I mean, it really froze. They had a blitzer coming that stopped when he saw the play action.
But Troy Brown, one of the most underrated receivers. There are a lot of receivers in this league that can't make this catch. There's the throw. Now watch the catch. This is not a perfectly thrown ball. That is long behind him.
That's pretty good.
What a fabulous adjustment.
Picky.
What an adjustment.
Back to the ground, Antoine Smith. Well, he got all of that he could down to the 15-yard line.
You know what? Talking to Antoine Smith the other day, and the thing about Antoine, he says, I know what my role is here. My role is first and second down. I carry the ball. He said, and I'm supposed to pick up anywhere between 4 and 6, so they're in the second down position. This guy shows you some quickness and some get outside.
But I wouldn't necessarily qualify him as nifty.
Well,
but I'm saying, on that play, he looked more than nifty.
Well, the game has certainly been nifty so far. And Rams' big-time offense has made 2 big-time mistakes in the first quarter, and we are tied at 7. As you might expect, the Rams continue to roll up the yards, 106 so far, and only 42 for New England. But the 2 turnovers, the interceptions, have New England in a 7-7 tie and drive it. Brady to the end zone, tipped away and intercepted out of bounds by Kim Herring.
Dexter McCleon made a nice play in the end zone.
Well, I'll tell you, David Patton gets his hands on this one. He, like Troy Brown, both guys not very big. Patton only 5'10", does a nice job releasing on McCleon. Watch this, though. Oh, good job, you're right. Dexter McCleon just tipped it a little bit, Paulo. That's those Hawkeyes, baby. Got those Hawkeyes.
Oh, I got my new glasses in.
That helps, too.
3rd and 8.
Blitz coming.
Gonna swing to Falk. Tries to make a move to the inside. What great instincts by Kevin Falk, who is a distant cousin of Marshall Falk. And some people say he was better in the state of Louisiana as a high school player than Marshall Falk was.
Who said that?
They, the ultimate expert.
All right, who are these guys? They. I want some names, pal.
I talked to Kevin on the field, and he said, I'm a distant cousin of Marshall's. Distant.
He showed a little Marshall right there by catching that ball and getting back up.
Vinatieri, who missed a pair a week ago, has had a good year, 13 out of 16. This is from 28 yards for the lead. And that looked like a false snap.
That might be against the Rams. Centers are tricky.
Now, the thing about this is, inside the 10, it's half the distance. Am I correct?
It'll also be a first down.
Well, wait a minute. If it's only half of a 5-yard penalty, that may not be a first down. They're going to be short. They're 3 yards away from the first down.
Well, they're outside the 10, though. That'll be a first down.
It'll be a full 5.
Lonnie Paxton was the snapper.
On the center.
And it looked like he double clutched.
Out.
I told you, they're sneaky.
Way to go,
Centers
Marshall.
are sneaky.
Great eye, eagle eye. Old eagle eye.
Belichick wants to know what's the call. Watch the center's head. Right there in the middle. See him? See that head go down? I don't know what the problem is. He can drop his head.
I think he moved his hands as well.
He might have moved the ball, Joe, because the head going down, that's what he has to be interested.
Exactly.
Now it will be a 33-yard drive for Vinatieri. And he is perfect. The Patriots, on the strength of 2 turnovers, have taken a 10-7 lead over the Rams. New England over St. Louis, 14:06 to go, first half of play.
I hear Chris say, Michael, what does he say again? What's Chris say?
Vinatieri, with the 33-yard field goal, will kick the Trump candidate. From the 5. Near the 30. Let's get down to see.
And Mike, the defenses came to play tonight. A lot happened in the first quarter. Right off the bat, Tom Brady trying to find Kevin Falk. Instead, Dexter McLeon with the interception, and the Rams capitalized. Warner to Holt, a 16-yard TD. Warner in a little bit of trouble against this defense. His 8th interception in 9 quarters, and then Teddy Bruschi comes up with another one. Adam Vinatieri, the final points on the board is 10-7 Patriots.
Susie, across the board, coaches will tell you points off of turnovers are what decides games at any level of football. They have all come off the turnovers tonight. Bruschi chases down Marshall Faulk.
Defensively, what the Patriots are doing, we talked about Lovie Smith wanting the St. Louis defense to run to the ball. That's exactly what you're seeing the Patriots do. They're flowing down the line of scrimmage as Marshall Faulk tries to work outside and not giving him any opportunity to cut up or cut back. And I would look somewhere in this series or in this quarter for the Rams to run some type of a reverse to slow down this pursuit.
And they're playing without the brilliant linebacker Ted Johnson, who injured the knee in practice this week. Falk, 6 carries, 18 yards so far. Blitz coming. And they'll whistle the play dead. Bill Levy, the referee.
Prior to the snap, full start. Brady Ford. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Second down.
Monday night at 9 Eastern, the Giants travel to Minnesota to face the Vikings on a...
They better start winning, and winning.
Second and 13. New England showing blitz again, and they come. Warner to Holt. Taking down about a yard shy of the first down at the 38-yard line.
You know, I talked to Kurt Warner yesterday. Joe, you were in the other room talking to Marshall Faulk because we weren't allowed in there with you. But anyway, Marshall, I asked Kurt, I said, how many times in a game do you audibilize? He said, rarely. Rarely do I ever do that because I know where each guy's going to be. And we come to the line of scrimmage. The primary target may change to 3 different guys.
2 tight ends on 3rd and 1. Faulk. Marshall Faulk to the 49-yard line, now midfield, first down. Lawyer Malloy, the strong safety, had to make the tackle at midfield, but it's a gain of 12.
If Lawyer Malloy doesn't make this tackle, Marshall Faulk is still running. He gets through the line. Teddy Bruschi goes the wrong way. Watch Lawyer Malloy just square up. This is one-on-one in the open field, and he just sticks him right between the 2 and the 8. The job of a safety. You're the last line of defense.
Faulk, the former NFL MVP. Warner won it once as well. Faulk again. More room. He has 5 to the 45-yard line. Marshall Faulk, since he came over to the Rams, has rushed for 91 yards a game, 61 yards a game receiving. That's 152 yards in scrimmage yards each and every game, and 45 touchdowns scored.
See, I bet you how you wonder they came up with that 150 yards that he has to get.
And how about 3rd and 1? Who do you give it to?
Who else? Warner short set, and Otis Smith went around Torrey Holt and knocked it away. For some guys like Marshall Faulk, Michael Jordan, the game comes easy. We asked Marshall Faulk why.
I kind of already know, and you know what's going to happen. I have a great feeling for the game. I understand not only what I have to do, but I can identify quickly what the defense is trying to do to stop me, and then make adjustments to how can I be effective through that.
And he's extremely bright, and he's a great receiver. Faulk out of the backfield down to the 29-yard line.
I'm going to tell you something. From up here, this looks so easy. When Kurt Warner threw this ball to Marshall Faulk coming out of the backfield. Here's Marshall Faulk. Watch this. Look where the throw is. It is absolutely perfect. He leads him, catches the ball, and picks up another 6.
And you also get that mismatch that the Rams try and do. Roman Pfeiffer at 248 is not going to stay with Marshall Faulk.
Warner under pressure and goes down at the 35.
You know, Joe, when you're talking about mismatches with Falk, I don't know of a linebacker in the National Football League that can run with Marshall Falk.
They can't.
And I'll tell you one other thing. There aren't many safeties either.
No, or corners.
Yeah.
That was a nice job by Ty Law, Matt Stevens, and Tabucky Jones. All three safeties were back where Kurt Warner wanted to put the ball up.
2nd and 15 as we approach the 10-minute mark in the second quarter. Blitz coming. Good job of picking it up, and Holt is open. There's a marker down on the play, however.
Delay a game. They didn't get it off in time.
The snap. The late defense. 5-yard penalty.
Those East German surplus microphones aren't working again.
That was digital. Let me clear that. Let me clear that out a little bit. Someone's got to hit the cough button.
Go up and whack him.
Now 2nd and 20 for Kurt Warner. Holt overthrown.
Otis Smith in his 12th year bounced around a little bit. Always sort of winds up where Bill Belichick is. Nice job. He's up on Torrey Holt, running one-on-one with him. Now watch the push by Holt. Holt does a nice job of using his hands, and the ball's just slightly overthrown.
Otis Smith has been consistently good. Played for Belichick with the Jets, as Joe mentioned. And the Rams have used a timeout with 9:28 to go. Mike Martz and Kurt Warner will talk it over.
Look at Kurt Warner's pass distribution chart. Right in the middle where he's had the problems and the success. I really believe that Warner right now isn't quite certain what the New England defense is giving him.
They come with another blitz. Holt. First down and more. Torrey Holt to the 24-yard line. Check it. Not a first down. The marker's at the 20. It will be 4th and 4.
Was that a nice move by Holt after he catches the ball and Warner getting the ball to him?
Well, they blitzed up the middle. Offensive line did a nice job of protecting it. They give him a lot of room. They weren't going to let him get a touchdown out of this. They were going to settle, okay, fine. You want to try the field goal attempt? That's okay. We'll tackle it.
Wilkins has missed one kick in 2 years. He was perfect a year ago, 13 out of 14 this season. This will be from 42. And it's wide.
You ought to jinx him. That was nice. What a jinx him.
So the Rams come up empty. They're still down 10-7 in Foxborough. Marshall Falk is steaming. Mike Martz is just steamed. His offense. 2 turnovers, a missed field goal for the special teams. They're down by 3. Brady. Another strike to Brown, and Brown fights for extra yards. Gang tackled. Let's go to Susan.
Mike, this is no surprise to Lovie Smith. The Rams defensive coordinator told me before the game that the Patriots receivers present the biggest challenge yet that they have faced. They haven't played a team with 2 speedy receivers like Troy Brown and David Patton that can hurt you quick. 2 who can go the distance. He said, we're going to have to be disciplined, Mike.
You know, Susie, Brown had always been considered a 3rd receiver here. We had a breakout year. Antoine Smith know where to go. Mark Fields, free agent from New Orleans, who really helped him at linebacker, makes the stop. Troy Brown, always a 3rd receiver here. 55 catches this season coming into the game, tied for 5th in the NFL. 8th in the NFL in yards with 703 starting the weekend. He's always been a good blocker. Will go over the middle. He is a fearless guy. Mark Edwards, the fullback, flanked out on the far side of the field for Brady. Throws underneath, and it's the tight end Ron Rutledge came in with 2 catches this year. He already has 2 tonight.
And I think against this style of defense, if you want to play the corners up and the safeties back, the tight end has to have a presence. The backs have to have a presence in the middle of the football field. Well, with Antoine Smith, he's not going to get out necessarily in the pass routes. He'd be better off blocking. But Rutledge making some plays for this offense.
4-year man out of Alabama, 6'5", 265. Kevin Falk takes the direct snap. A little trickery from the Patriots, and Falk a yard and a half shy of a first down.
And I'll tell you what, you don't even take a chance here. You punt the football for the simple reason you can back them back into the corner, and that's where you need the Rams. There's a direct snap to Falk, and he gets to the outside. He hesitates. I understand he's waiting on a block, but the block developed a little bit late.
What great hustle from Grant Wistrom, who got over there from the opposite side on the defensive end to make the tackle and stop him shy of the first down. The guy hustles every single play. The Rams rookie Adam Archuleta able to come off under his own power. This looks like it could have been a serious injury. Got that leg pinned under him. Robinson Randall, the right tackle, had pulled and drilled him into the ground.
And here's a huge play for New England. 4th down and 2 from the 44-yard line.
I can't believe they're doing this.
Yeah, well, and the Rams have just used another timeout. In a conventional game against a conventional offense, you might do conventional things. Bill Belichick is anything going to be conventional in this one.
Well, Bill Belichick told us, he said, field goals are not going to beat this football team, but you're at the 44-yard line.
You're going to punt. You're not going to get the field goal.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is here, if you lose this, you give the Rams a ball that really puts your defense in a bind, and you've got still over 6 minutes to go in the second period. I'm telling you, I don't like the call, if, in fact, they're going to go for it.
I totally agree with you. But on the other side of it, his defense is playing so darn well. If they do pick up the first down, it's just a little bit more added momentum for the home team.
It's Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN. The best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9, Kerry Collins and the Giants travel to Minnesota to face Dante Culpepper and the Vikings on Monday Night Football. They are out to go for it on 4th and 2, and they will run the play. They didn't try to draw him offside. Brown underneath, first down and more. Bill Belichick rolled the dice, and it came up 7.
And he goes to his playmaker, Troy Brown. Steady hands, excellent feet, good inside-outside move. Now he picks it up, heads on down the field.
I tell you, Mark Edwards, the fullback, was on the outside, and he sealed off that whole inside and let Brown get outside.
Now I think you give him a dose of Antoine Smith.
Smith, the former Bill, gets the ball and bowls his way to the 22. Smith was a 1,000-yard rusher in Buffalo before injuries cut down his playing time. He was picked up as a free agent.
With Drew Bledsoe putting back on the active roster, able to practice, Tom Brady just continues to do what he's done for this football team over the last 7 games. Make good decisions and throw the ball accurately.
A very confident young man, Antoine Smith again, lowers the shoulder. He's about a yard and a half shy of the first down.
The one thing about Antoine Smith, he was with the Buffalo Bills, and they said he was injured, and, you know, they just didn't like the way he ran the ball, and they basically put him on the bench. And I'm going to tell you one thing. We sat down and talked to him the other day. The one thing about Antoine Smith, he never once did he badmouth the Buffalo Bills. He came here. He knew he had a purpose here. He knew what he's supposed to. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he does it. He's an excellent football player.
And you don't think he enjoyed getting 100 yards against Buffalo last week?
Loved it.
Smith now going for the first down, and he's got it inside the 17-yard line.
What New England is able to do now is they are able to use the clock, they're able to run the football, and they're able to control the momentum of this football game. I think defensively, they've got the Rams confused, especially Kurt Warner. He's not sure what he's seeing. And with their ability to run the football, they're going to force the Rams to come up and bring 8 in the box and then maybe take their shots down the field.
If you've got Kurt Warner confused, you've got the Rams confused.
That's right.
He's the guy that pulls the trigger.
Charles Johnson, number 81, is in as a wide receiver. Smith on the toss. Cuts it back inside the 15 to the 14-yard line. The other thing about Antoine Smith, here's a young man who grew up in the South, was a tremendous football player in high school, had a full scholarship to Auburn, which is a dream. You go to Auburn or Alabama, what a dream for a high school player in the South. He put that on hold to take care of his grandmother and his grandfather. His grandfather had cancer. His grandmother had to go to dialysis 3 days a week. He worked in a factory dyeing cloth for 3 years until that job was done, and then he got a scholarship to Houston. He's a good kid. Nice fake by Brady. Wide open, Edwards in the flat. Fights for first down yardage. He's close.
When you run an offense like Tom Brady is running this offense, Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator, will call plays. He knows exactly where he wants Tom Brady to throw the football. He looks up the field without hesitation, and with a good, quick move, he gets the ball outside to his secondary receiver. This is the thing that impressed them so much about Tom Brady, is his decision process. He can see the entire field, knows where he wants to go with the football.
And Edwards is a weapon out of the backfield. Brady so far, he's only missed 2. One of those was a pick that wasn't his fault.
They're not going to make this. It's going to be 3rd down. But
okay, Hawkeye.
about a half a yard. Though.
Oh, half a yard. That much?
Well,
for you, that's a guinea.
Half yard. That a half yard? Well, a little more than half yard. That one was an easy one.
Tom Brady, as Joe said earlier, one of his strengths, he is so accurate. He has completed 65% or better in his last 4 games. Tonight he is 10 out of 12. It's the first quarterback in Patriot history, 65% in 4 straight.
And 2 of the 4 of them, he had an 80% completion and a 71% completion rate.
So the other 2 didn't do too good.
Dan Kurt Warner, all he can do is stand and watch, which is not a place where he's used to being.
And it's exactly what New England wants. As long as they have the ball, the Rams don't score. Smith, first down and goal.
Right now, from this first down on, it becomes an attitude game for the New England Patriots. Because I believe they're going to try and pound the football into the end zone as we move towards the 2-minute warning, 2:40 left. And Tom Brady knows that if they can do that, they break the will of this defense a little bit.
It's an attitude check for the defense, too.
As well.
They have not been called on too many times to have to make stops. Not with that great offense. Right now, they're called on. 12th play of the drive coming. Smith pounds his way down to the 1. The Rams saying the ball is loose and they've got it. No signal yet.
Well, nothing has been called. I mean, nothing has been called.
No sign from the official that he was down. No sign of a fumble. Still unpiling the bodies, and the Rams have it.
There it was, Mike. The defense came up with the play.
You know, you got to like the call. First of all, they just took the ball and handed off to Antoine Smith and straight up the middle, which they should do. Get the clock moving down to the 2 minutes. But you got to hang on to the football. They just stripped that ball away.
Aeneas Williams winds up coming away with it.
And they're challenging this because the flag is on the field. Here it is. Antoine Smith up the middle. They want to know, is he down?
His knee never hits the ground, and you can see the ball come out. Watch this. His knee will never hit the ground.
He is on other players.
He's laying on other players.
Wait a minute. His right knee is on the ground.
That looked like
I'm going to tell you what.
Yep.
From that play there, his knee is on the ground.
And we are outside the 2-minute warning. Therefore, it can be a coach's challenge.
They already challenged it. The red flag was out there. Belichick challenged this thing.
Now, Paul,
Boy, from that angle, maybe that was somebody else whose knee was down. Somebody else in the pile. The other thing was his forward momentum.
Nor can all our voters. Look at how close that is.
You can't call him down. You can't call him stopped.
Reviewing the play, there was no conclusive evidence that the runner did not score. First down, Rams. England will be charged out.
We had more than 54,000 people log in to vote with us.
Conclusive.
Huge break and a great stand for that Rams defense.
Michael, you said it. The Rams defense have not been called upon to make plays. Mike Martz said he doesn't concern himself with turnovers because he feels confident that his defense can do the job this year.
Warner starts inside his 5. Wants to throw. Robinson, the tight end, spun around and made the catch after the 25. Lawyer Malloy the tackle.
I know it's a 2-minute warning. Did you like that call?
That's what
Did you like the call?
Absolutely.
All right.
Jeff Robinson out of Idaho with the catch. 2-minute warning, back in a moment. 2 minutes to go in the half. Down 10-7. Warner to Kroll at the 45.
This is where their speed can stretch the defense. They'll try and stretch them and work deep ins. They have one timeout left, but with the chunks of yardage that they pick up, it's not a factor for this Rams team. Trying to get to the sideline is not a factor.
They'll still work the middle of the field. There's Antoine Smith.
Warner to Kroll again. Kroll to the 31.
One of the things that happens, I know they're going to hurry up, but one of the things that happen, the Rams are taking a timeout, is when you blitz like that, Joe, it leaves the middle of the field open. And there's 1 minute and 22 seconds. That's way too much time to leave the middle of the field open for the Rams.
Well, this is a situation where Kurt Warner now can see everything that's happening on the defensive side of the line of scrimmage. As the game was played in the first half, Bill Belichick and Romeo Crennel were able to move things around, give them different looks, bring pressure from different places. Now, in a 2-minute situation, they spread you out, you drop back, and it's like pitch and catch for this offense.
But it's still with 1 minute and 22, and now they have no timeouts. You still throw the ball in the middle of the field.
Oh, yeah.
Warner has hit Robinson for 22, Kroll for 20, and then Kroll for 19.
12 for 19 for Kurt Warner. The 2 interceptions hurt him in the first half.
Blitz again. Warner to Kroll. Rookie Kroll, a veteran to the 26.
On his pass complete to number 87, Ricky Kroll.
Clock running, no timeouts available for the Rams.
Look at Kurt Warner. That's okay. Let's move at a good pace.
Oh, no. Speaking of pace, Orlando pace moved a little early.
On cue.
Ball start. Number 76.
The Rams are saying he was drawn, but the referee isn't buying it. The Rams defense getting beaten up a little bit tonight, Susie.
Well, the side judge just stepped in and said something. I'm sorry.
Well, Mike, as you were saying, the Patriots did promise a physical game. Adam Archuleta, the starting strong safety, he has a concussion. He is out. Defensive tackle Damian Lewis, fractured foot. He is out.
The Patriots called a timeout.
Number 36. There's the timeout called. There he is trying to call the timeout.
And apparently he did not get it before pace moved.
Took him a long time for him to find him. And then they wind up charging him with it.
And now they're saying they gave them the timeout before Pacers motion, so it's still 1st and 10. Blitz coming. Warner tried to get it to Falk, and Falk was held up. Roman Pfeiffer.
I'll tell you what, this is holding. This should have been called on Pfeiffer, number 95. He's got a hold of Marshall Falk coming out. Watch number 28 and watch number 95. Look at this. You think he's got him?
You know something? It's not a bad play. When Roman Pfeiffer gets Marshall Falk one-on-one, he does everything he can to contain him and stay with him. I personally think that's a good foul.
Oh,
Automatic for
You're lucky if you can grab him.
Oh, I agree, because he was going to go to Marshall Falk anyway. If he gets the ball in space, it's over.
Spot the ball at the 21. 58 seconds to go in the half. Warner never loses his poise. Blitz coming again. Falk in the flat. Taken out of bounds by Matt Stevens. Coming up at the half, the Kia halftime show. Chris Berman will be along with Jets and Dolphins highlights. The Jets continue that dominance. The Browns surprise the Ravens again in the fastest 3 minutes in television.
Hey, one of the things you have to give a lot of credit to, we saw it last week in Seattle. We're seeing it again tonight with both of these offensive lines. They're doing a great job.
Yes, they are.
Because they're throwing everything at this Ram offensive line they can throw.
And Anton Smith is not liking what he's seeing.
McGinnis comes across and is pointing at Ryan Tucker.
Now, this will be interesting. With all the shifting that was done, Ryan Tucker actually did move. He moved before the play, so it'll be interesting to see the way they call it.
number 50 offense, 5-yard penalty.
With all the shifting that was going on and all the receivers moving to that right side, I guess Ryan just felt like everybody else is moving over here. I might back up just a little bit.
About 8 seconds have gone off the clock in the last 4 minutes. Warner again underneath, this time Bruce. Inside the 10 to the 9, it'll be 1st and goal for the Rams, no timeouts.
They'll burn one here. They'll just throw one into the ground. Well, I don't know. This team doesn't like to throw it in the ground.
Not down this close. Doesn't have to.
Blitz was coming, and Warner got rid of it in a hurry. Stops it with 36 seconds to go. The Rams have been devastating against teams in the first half, averaging nearly 20 points a game through the first 8. Tonight they have only 7. They've held their opponents to 7 points a half in the first half, and they've given up 10 to New England tonight.
What I would do if I was the New England Patriots here, because now the field has become so compressed and the Rams run so many crossing routes, we saw the first 2 balls of the game knocked down by their defense. I would do the same thing with this defense. I'd make sure that somebody's in a position to swat the ball around for Kurt Warner. Falk. Touchdown.
The ultimate weapon. All those great wide receivers go downfield. Falk goes underneath. Warner hits him in stride, and it's over.
One of the things I don't even understand about the defense, and I know there's hundreds of people, Joe, but the middle of the field was wide open. When Marshall Falk came out of the backfield and ran that little circle route,
nobody.
There's only one guy trying to cover him, and nobody in the middle to help out. That I don't understand.
Pick your poison. You can't cover everybody.
That's true.
Wilkins with the point after. It was a 97-yard drive.
Well, look in the middle of the field. Conwell goes down, he takes the safety out, and here comes Marshall Falk. One guy is on him, that's Shaw, 22, and he can't stop him from getting in the end zone. He really has no help. Look at this. It's basically Shaw and Falk by themselves.
And a great job by the offensive line, giving them a nice lane to throw to. Mike Martz says, that's what I expected.
Mike Martz, the offensive genius who has put this thing together. And Antoine Smith, who coughed it up near the 1-yard line, and it's tough to fault him. When you're on top of somebody and the play continues, there's 8 guys in there that ball.
Well, he was trying extra effort. That's exactly what happens sometimes when you try and put the extra effort. But you've got to give a lot of credit to that Ram defense. They caused the turnover when they had to. 8 rushes, 35 yards, 4 catches, 35 yards. Average rushing down from 5.7 to 4.4.
He's being contained. 31 seconds to go. Brady warms up on the sideline, and now it's a 4-point St. Louis lead.
Mike, the Rams' first touchdown, 18 yards in a minute 23 seconds. They went 97 yards in a minute 41 seconds.
Kevin Falk deep to receive. Falk picking his way to about the 18-yard line, and that's it. Next Sunday night at 7:30, join Chris Berman and Tom Jackson. It's NFL prime time. And then on our Sunday night game, Brian Urlacher and the Bears battle Dante Culpepper and the Vikings on ESPN Sunday Night Football at 8:28 Eastern.
Well, what a job Greg Blosh has done with that Chicago Bear defense.
Magnificent. Now, if you're New England, what do? 24 seconds to go.
Kneel down. I think you got to feel good. You got to feel good about the way you played. You've given them 2 opportunities. One close in. The other one, you gave them the ball when you were going to score.
Bill Belichick said we had to withstand that initial onslaught. They did that. They are within 4 points of the St. Louis Rams. So Belichick, as he always seems to do, came up with a defensive plan that would at least limit St. Louis. Let's go down to the field, Susie Colvin.
Aeneas Williams comes up with a clutch fumble recovery, led to the 2nd longest drive of the year. How much did you guys need that change of momentum at that point?
We needed a huge. They've been running the ball and getting some gashing holes, and we needed that turnover and to get the offense going into halftime. It was just great.
You said you had seen enough of Tom Brady on film, but what have you seen tonight that you didn't expect?
Well, I've seen what I've seen on film, and that's his composure. He has good composure, and he's taking what we give him. So we have to do a good job of getting more hands on the ball and intercept some balls in the second half.
Thanks. We'll see you in the second half, Mike.
Thank you, Susie. Our score here in New England, the Rams 14, the Pats 10. Let's join Chris Berman for the Kia.
I think for the New England Patriots, it's critical that they mount some type of an offensive drive and not throw their defense right back out on the field right away against this Ram offense.
Wilkins to kick. Kevin Falk is deep. Takes it on the bounce at the 10. And Falk to the 28-yard line. The story of this first half has been mistakes. Turnovers have hurt both ball clubs. That interception led to the first score, a strike to Holt. Warner picked this time by Buckley, and he takes it back all the way. Warner again intercepted by Brewski. That led to a field goal. And then the score to put St. Louis ahead. All 24 points have come off of turnovers. Antoine Smith hit before he got to the line of scrimmage and buried by Tommy Polley, the rookie outside linebacker from Florida State. He's playing for the injured Don Davis.
When they took Tommy Polley in the 2nd round this year out of Florida State, you mentioned, they picked him up for one reason, because he's a playmaker. 6'3", 240 pounds. Typical Florida State athlete, run like the wind.
Should be playing running back.
2nd and 13. Falk is in as one of 5 wide receivers. His pass completed to Charles Johnson, who they picked up from Philadelphia. His first catch of the night. Here are the numbers. Brady, 10 out of 12, but only 82 yards. The one pick, which was not his fault. Smith, 12 carries, 26 yards, had the big fumble. Brown, the kind of game you've come to expect from him, 5 catches, 50 yards in the first half of play for the Patriots.
Well, he's now Brady 11 out of 13.
3rd and 4. Rams come with a blitz. Brady under pressure, unloads, incomplete. Well, McCleon had another shot at an interception, and Patton got a hand on it but couldn't bring it in.
Yeah, McCleon, but if I tell you what, if Pat catches this ball, he's got touchdown. This ball, McLeon just timed it wrong.
Of course, the Patriots are without the services of Terry Glenn, who they're not sure when they're going to get him back. And he'd sure be a great addition to this offense.
Ken Walter to punt to Dre Bly. His first punt, 57 yards. Another good one here. Bly signals fair catch and makes it at the 21-yard line. 43-yard kick, no return. So the Rams, who have built a 14-10 lead, have the ball. 1 week come back. Back in New England, 13:30 to go. Second half of play, the Rams on top, 14-10. They have the ball at their own 22-yard line. 3 wide receiver set, and Marshall Faulk the single setback. Faulk on the toss. Nice cutback, gets to the 25. Anthony Pleasant made the tackle for New England. Faulk, 35 rushing, 35 receiving in a score. Kurt Warner sacked only once, hit only once. Outstanding protection.
But the 2 interceptions have not been very good. They've not allowed this offense to get into any type of a rhythm. And that's really what the Rams do, whether they score on 2 plays or 12 plays. They need some type of a rhythm.
Warner dumps it to Faulk. Marshall Faulk to the 40. And Bill Belichick said, you know, there's certain patterns he runs. You want to eliminate those. You just hope he catches it in the flat and doesn't kill you.
Well, he just caught one in the flat and he almost killed him. I mean, here's the thing. He said he's the toughest man to defend in the National Football League. Look at this. He's not, what, Joe, would he be the 4th or 5th receiver in that pattern?
Probably the 4th. But again, the offensive line makes this happen. It allows Kurt Warner to survey the entire field.
Kurt Warner has already thrown for 246 yards. They want to screen, and he throws it away. Smart play, but they're going to call him for intentional grounding, I believe. Faulk was held up. And the official is saying, I know he was held up. You weren't trying to complete that pass.
That's why you can't, as a quarterback, throw it. I don't agree with this rule. I think if you're going to allow intentional grounding, allow the quarterback to throw the ball away if he wants. They're considering him in the tackle box, and they're considering him throw it away with pressure coming at him.
Intentional grounding. Number 13, offense. Lost it down. Second down.
I mean, you either allow a guy to intentionally ground the ball, or you just say they can't do it. Here he is. He rolls. He's in the tackle box. He sees that Marshall Faulk is covered, and he throws it near him.
Well, they put this new rule in. You cannot throw it at the receiver's feet.
Exactly.
You've got to try to complete the pass, and that's the rule.
I was just going to say, Paul, if he floats that ball out there when nobody's there, they're not going to call it. But he threw it in the ground.
Yes, he did. Well, you can protect the quarterbacks all you want, Joey, and it's not going to do any good.
Blitz coming. Oops. Bruce dives for the first down at the 42. Let's check in with Susan.
Well, Mike, Bill Belichick told me that he was pleased that the first half was evenly played. I asked him about Kurt Warner seemingly getting more and more comfortable as that first half went on, and he said he considers that they are starting from scratch right now. All they have to do is execute the game plan, and of course, he said turnovers killed them.
All right, Susie, that was not a first down. They got by the original line of scrimmage out to the 41. They still need 9 yards. 4-man rush this time. Warner, that ball was either tipped or slipped out of his hand. Willie McGinnis was in there on it.
Willie McGinnis was in his face, and that's what he is supposed to do. Get in Kurt Warner's face, make him throw the ball where he doesn't want to throw the ball.
Bill Belichick challenged in a subtle way Willie McGinnis, saying that Michael Strahan had a fantastic game against Ryan Tucker. He expects that kind of performance out of Willie McGinnis. He got a big play that time.
John Baker on the punt. The Rams have scored 31 touchdowns. Coming into this game, they've only punted 23 times. Troy Brown with the return, an 8-yard run back after a 52-yard punt. How many teams in the history of the NFL have more touchdowns than they have punts? Not many. Kurt Warner under pressure as that defense led by Willie McGinnis trying to do the job. New England takes over on its own 14-yard line. Tom Brady, that quarterback, making his 8th start. He is 5-2 so far as the starter. Troy Brown, did he make the catch? The officials staring at each other. Now he has it at the 22. Mark Fields was there in coverage.
Well, the defense wants him to throw the thing and challenge this. They said he didn't catch it. Now here's the ball. Is it on the ground? Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
I tell you. Here comes the challenge. Mark's listened to his defensive back. Bly was the guy that said, hey, he didn't catch it. Challenge this.
It was interesting. 3 officials closest to the play came running toward the ball. Everybody staring at each other. Nobody had a very good angle to see whether it was complete or not. And nobody made a call.
Well, one of them's going to have a real good angle to look at it right now.
Oh, this will be perfect.
We've got a great angle. This is not a catch. The ball goes, look at this. Watch the ball through his arms and where the ball hits on the ground. This one's easy, boys.
It can hit the ground, but the player has to be in control of the ball when it does, and he was clearly not in control of that one.
Well, I can't wait. Now, you get to cast your votes. Log on to ESPN is the word. See, it's over.
Thank you. 30 seconds. Should have taken 1.
After reviewing the play, the ball touched the ground, therefore it's an incomplete pass. The clock should be put at 11:17. Second down and 10 at the 14.
You'll have to forgive
St. Louis
Mr.
will not be
McGuire.
charged a timeout.
Getting a little testy here in the middle of November. Thanksgiving is coming up. He'll be just fine.
Yeah, well, you see what I do with that turkey.
Tom Brady has only missed 4, but still not up to the 100-yard mark. Blitz coming. Brady wants the screen to fall. Hurdles one tackler and got back near the 18-yard line.
Oh, man, what a great play by Aeneas Williams.
Tremendous pursuit, wasn't it?
Well, he was in the blitz. And then Aeneas Williams comes all the way back. Look at this. He's in here. He's in the quarterback's face. Now, watch number 35. Look who makes his play.
See, he doesn't want to get that loaf thing. When they look at the film, you know, Lovie Smith looks at it and says, I want you hustling to the ball. He does not want to get a loaf next to his name.
When we talked to him the other day, I said, after all his lousy years with the Cardinals, isn't it great to be with a team that's got a Super Bowl shot? He would not say anything negative about the Cardinals. He said, I had great teammates. It was a wonderful experience, but yes, it's great to be here. Brady trying to get the first down. He slides and he is plastered.
Mark Fields.
3 guys went after him. Now the question is, you're to be protected when you slide, but if you slide late, the defensive player has no chance to pull up.
And the other thing is where he got hit and where he started his slide were 2 different places, so they marked the ball back almost a yard. Watch this. Now, when he hits the ground, wherever the ball is where the official marks it. Right there. Now, you see him slide in and get pummeled in the meantime.
Well, that's Fields. And I'm going to tell you something. Fields is hitting him on the way down.
Is he going to get the first down? That's the question right here. Just barely picks it up.
I thought that was a pretty good call by the officials. You cannot have a defensive player in the middle of making a play be able to change his mind. You can't ask him to do that.
You've got to go down quicker if you want to be protected.
But Tom Brady saw those sticks, and he thought, I've got the first down, now I'm going to slide.
And that's one element he adds to this offense that you don't see out of a Drew Bledsoe, the ability to gain first downs running the football.
Nice play fake by Brady. Now under pressure, spins out of the way. And will be taken down for a sack back at the 21. We told you Drew Bledsoe had missed a lot of the season. One of the big reason, the wicked legal hit by Mo Lewis when they played the Jets in the second week of the season. Watch this. That gave him a sheared vessel in his chest. And Drew Bledsoe, although they recovered all of his own blood and pumped it back into him, bled out half of the blood in his system. It was a frightening injury.
And he was cleared this week to be able to go back to full practices.
Another good play fake by Brady. Down the middle, Brown. He caught this one up at the 39. It's a first down, Patriots. I'd be impressed with Brady with all that tool back there.
I'm impressed with Brady. I'm not impressed with the way he's throwing the football out. He's thrown the ball low tonight, and Troy Brown has had to make some sensational catches, but I am impressed with Troy Brown. Now, I don't know how many votes he's going to get for a Pro Bowl, but every time the ball even gets anywhere near him, he makes a play. You got two 80s on the field tonight, both of them outstanding wide receivers.
Well, he's on a pace for 110 catches and over 1,000 yards. Smith ripped before he got back to the line of scrimmage. Down to Susie for more on Troy Brown.
Well, probably if anybody is affected the most by Drew Bledsoe being out, it's Troy Brown. They both came to this team together in 1993. So I asked him how different it's been, and he said there is a large difference between Drew Bledsoe's ball and Tom Brady's ball. It's been something he's had to get used to. And I asked him, you know, why does he seem so underrated? Well, he doesn't really look for that fame. He's not really that outspoken, but he says strength, hard work is his key.
Brady, a quick slant. Brown again, this time to the 47-yard line.
I can tell you the difference having worked in practice with both Drew Bledsoe and Tom Brady this week. Brady's ball comes out with a lot of revolutions and hot. Drew Bledsoe's comes out actually a much easier catchable ball, but they've seemed to have adjusted quite well to the way Brady has thrown it. And there is not a quarterback controversy here in New England because Drew really isn't ready yet.
I saw you throw, and yours comes out like a little helicopter. It's kind of a neat little thing.
He threw pretty well the other day, Paul.
He did. He threw very well.
Brady's at 14 out of 18. Smith on the toss. Got the corner, and Antoine Smith into Rams territory.
Well, I'll tell you, Charles Johnson came down the line of scrimmage as a wide receiver. He really makes an excellent play. Number 81 is Charles Johnson. You can see him smiling there. Watch him come down the line of scrimmage. Look at this. He hit his own man, then he hit the defensive man. That's Sean Moran, number 77, who he hits. Kind of nice when a wide receiver can get a block on a big old defensive end.
Or at least get in the way.
At least he can bounce backward like so many others.
Falk goes the other way. Put on his back by McLeon.
New England
and Mark Fields.
New England's doing a nice job on 1st and 10. They're picking up 4, 5 yards, 3, 4, 5 yards. Charlie Wise, the offensive coordinator, has a chance to be able to have a lot of plays to pick from if he wants to throw a screen, if he wants to run again. And Tom Brady doing a nice job of managing this offense.
And taking time off the clock with 6.5 minutes third quarter.
They got Kevin Falk right up top, way up there.
Blitz coming. Brady can't find anybody, then throws in Edwards. Did not catch it at the 35. Would have been a first down.
Boy, this just shows you about Brady. I mean, there was a blitz coming. It didn't really bother him. He looked around. He couldn't find a primary target, and he had enough on this ball to get it to Mark Edwards. Look at this. He's not really looking down Mark Edwards. He pulled that ball down. This is a good throw. Look at this.
Yeah, and he loads. When he loads, he fires this thing.
It's right in the chest.
Right in the chest and goes right through. That's what I talked about, how hard he throws the football.
But that's one that Edwards will normally come up with. Big third down here. Antoine Smith in on 3rd and 6. He and Edwards the split pass. Another blitz. And Brady throws incomplete, and it looked like Patton fell down trying to come back on the pattern. Crowd wants a flag. They're not going to get it.
No, McLeon was there, and what McLeon did is tripped over Patton as Patton went down on the ground. Patton slips. There is no call here. Watch 86's Patton. Cleon is 21. He slips. He goes down. Look at here. There's nothing wrong with that.
Boy, McLeon's had a good night. He's played some outstanding football at the corner.
He's almost lucky Patton fell down because he was closing on that in a hurry.
Dre Bly is back for the punt from Ken Walter.
Always coach punting.
Bly comes up on a short kick, can't get there, and it takes a Ram bounce.
Here's your old pooch kick for 27 yards.
Make it 21.
Thank you. Whatever.
Anything under 30 ain't good. Back in a moment.
his new stadium. Can be quite a place next year.
Rams start from the 21. Up by 4. Warner, perfect strike to Bruce. To the 47-yard line.
How much time do you need to throw this pass?
You need enough for Isaac Bruce to get down the field, and normally that's not much time. He's so quick. Play action fake to Marshall Faulk. You have to respect it. Ty Law turns him loose. Again, it's the middle of the football field that continues to be exposed by the St. Louis Ram offense. They have just gutted the middle of this Patriot defense.
Bruce, a 3-time Pro Bowler, 6 catches, 119 yards. When he doesn't get 100, it's an upset. Warner fumbles the snap. The Patriots are all over it. No signal yet.
Joe, we watched game after game this afternoon. How many times did the quarterbacks leave without the ball today?
And this is one that the Patriots are going to get. You're right, Paul. The ball gets, it's cool out. The ball gets a little slick sometimes, and I'm not 100% convinced. This is not on Kurt Warner. This is just a low snap. Andy McCollum does not get the football up. If you want to be able to start a play, you got to get the ball to the quarterback.
Back in Foxborough, 5:18 to go, third quarter. New England football after the fumble. Brady to throw under pressure, intercepted. Threw it right into the hands of London Fletcher, the middle linebacker. His second pick of the season.
I'll tell you what causes this, first of all, Joe.
Pressure.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Boy, there is some heat. Brent Wistrom coming up the middle. I mean, these guys, the 4 guys up front, put some heat on the quarterback.
Grant Wistrom yesterday, when we had a chance to sit with him, said Tom Brady does 2 things. He holds the football, and he's not real mobile. And he had a big smile on his face. And here comes the heat up the middle, and now he just steps back and tries to fire the ball, and I didn't even see a receiver in the area. And really just tries to force a play when he doesn't have to. Part of the learning process for a young quarterback.
London Fletcher, 9 tackles, a forced fumble, and an interception. Not bad for less than 3 quarters. Blitz coming. Warner unloads. Conwell didn't get his hands up in time. Had a whistle right past him. And Warner had to get rid of that one in a heartbeat. Both teams guilty of 3 turnovers.
The only difference in those turnovers, you say, well, the game's even that way. Not at all. The Rams have the capability to overcome turnovers. Mike Martz simply said, I don't concern myself with them because I know our defense is good enough to get us the ball back. There was a classic case right there.
He wouldn't have said that a year ago.
That's exactly right.
He didn't say it a year ago. Another blitz. Faulk, great block. And Warner throws complete to the sideline to Holt. Marshall Faulk, we talk about what a great runner he is, what a great receiver he is. He's not that big a guy, but watch him step up on the blitz.
Watch him stick his face in. Watch this. Here comes him with Stevens. Bam! And I mean, he puts his face in. Look at this block. And that's not holding, folks.
Nice job by Kurt Warner adjusting and sliding away, and then Torrey Holt running the deep route.
First and 10 at the New England 25. Another blitz coming. Warner. Conwell at the 1, can't get it. Let's go to Susie Colvin.
Well, Mike, I'm with Brian Cox. Broken leg, what's the status?
To be the best, you got to play against a good team. And we're hanging in here with these guys. We just got to play with a little more confidence. I think that, you know, we've done a good job basically in all phases of the game. We've created turnovers, but we just got to play a little bit more aggressively and not lay out the receivers and let them run deep in cuts against us. We're letting the middle of the field stay too open, and we got to defend that better.
Brian, thanks. We'll look forward to seeing you back on the field soon.
I appreciate it.
Okay.
Pfeiffer made that last tackle, Susie, on the run by Marshall Faulk. And it's going to be 3rd down.
Of course, New England is short a line. Ted Johnson is hurt. He's not in this game. Here you see him on the sideline. So Roman Pfeiffer having to play outside with Mike Grable.
3rd and 8, Ricky Prohl, number 87 in the game for the Rams. Great possession receiver. Another blitz. Holt to the 18-yard line. That will not be a first down. It brings up fourth down and a decision for Mike Martz.
No decision. No decision. This is field goal. These are easy calls.
Well, this is the one team I've ever seen that could cut its punter and field goal kicker and not be hurt too badly.
Is it true?
Wilkins has missed one tonight.
Then you just have to go for 2 all the time, and they'd probably be in a high percentage if they did that.
He missed wide right from 42. This will be from 35. When Wilkins was hurt a couple of years ago, they went for 2 an awful lot. Good on this one. And the lead grows to 7, 3:06 to go, third quarter. The Rams on top of the Patriots. Feel free from New England. Falk across the 25, gets to the 28-yard line. Let's check in with Susie. She's got an injury update with the Rams. A lot of them, Susie.
Yeah, Mike, do you think that this game has taken a toll on the Rams tonight? Azahir Hakeem, sprained ankle. Leonard Little, sprained knee. Damian Lewis, broken foot. They expected great production from Mark Fields tonight. He had a great week of practice. And starting strong safety, Adam Archuleta, the hard hitter, all out. Staying healthy as much a part of a Super Bowl run as anything else. Tonight, it's not looking good.
Susie has 3 starters off the defense and Damian Lewis in that defensive line rotation. So basically, they've lost 4 starters. Antoine Smith on the toss to the 33-yard line.
I thought Brian Cox really was very prophetic when he talked about, it seems like when the Rams do something good, the defense sort of hangs its head a little bit. Offensively, we saw Tom Brady come back and throw an interception. This is where, as a quarterback, you have to step up your game, make some good decisions, make some tough throws, hang in the pocket if you need to, or run to pick up a first down.
Edwards gets the carry across the 35 by about the length of the ball.
And I'll tell you another thing you can't do. You can't keep putting a young quarterback, Tom Brady, in a 3rd and 4 and 5 situation.
I don't agree with that. I think it's...
Wait a minute. I'm not done yet. Wait a minute. You jump in and you don't agree. I don't care whether you agree. I'm telling you that this is a young quarterback, and you can't keep putting him in 3rd and 4 and 5 situations.
Better than 3rd and longer.
Well, thank goodness there's only 2 months left in the season.
It's better than longer than that.
3rd and 3. 4-man rush. Brady underneath from McCleon with another sensational play. Went right around Troy Brown with a left hand.
Ta-da!
Hey, if I'm a quarterback, I'd much prefer 3rd down and 3s or 4s. I just think that New England's got to take an opportunity to put the ball down the field a little bit. Because Dexter McCleon right now, he should be wearing 80 because he is all over Troy Brown.
Walter to punt to block. Dre Bly from the 24. And brought down at the 25 after a 41-yard kick, only a 1-yard return. Larry Izzo, the special teams demon they picked up from Miami, was down to make the tackle. He's one of the best that ever played on special teams. Log on to NFL.com. You can get analysis and insight from coaches and players around the league all week on NFL.com. And for the deepest coverage anywhere, log on to ESPN.com. The keyword NFL for all the scores, analysis, and breaking news from today's action. And a lot of home teams and a lot of favorites went down today. The crowd exhorting the New England defense as the Rams start from the 25. Warner, nice throw to Holt. Warner put that ball exactly where it had to be.
Good protection again, but this is a different football team on grass than it is on turf. Now, you talk to them and they say, no, it doesn't matter. Oh, yes, it does. Look at their record on turf. 24-6. They average 34 points a game. On grass, they're 6-4. They average 28. And with Brady at quarterback for New England, in the last 7 games, they averaged a little over 26. And this is a 1-touchdown game right now.
Falk got a yard and no more. Lawyer Malloy who's such a terrific run stopper from that safety spot, was on the stop.
What I notice right now in this particular drive for the Rams is that New England has raised their level of play. You can see them. They're more intense. They're firing up towards the ball. I think Mike Martz has got to come up with a big play to try and take some of the fire out of this New England defense. But it's going to have to be in the fourth quarter.
Sorry, but I'd go right back in the middle of the field.
Falk has really been contained tonight. Only 4 of his carries have gone for more than 3 yards.
They're going to take a timeout. The Rams take a timeout. Now, I don't quite understand that.
Well, I don't either. They just let the clock run down, and the play clock was going to catch him.
There was plenty of time for Mike Martz to run a play. The only reason I would say why he would do it, and he's on a communication to Kurt Warner, is he wanted to talk to him about some type of a play that they want to run in this situation. Maybe a special play. He wants to reemphasize something to his quarterback. Other than that, I see no reason why it would happen.
Well, I saw Isaac Bruce waiting so he can go over and talk to Brian Cox. Now, he walked out. Brian Cox was on the field. He went over and shook hands with him. So I think that's why they took the timeout. So Isaac can say a little praise.
As usual, you're much more observant than I am.
Kurt Warner, his 23rd career 300-yard passing game. The guy has been a wonder coming out of the Arena League, played at Northern Iowa, started only 1 year. Just a miraculous story.
How about sitting talking to him, Mike? Is he calm?
Oh, the kid really understands how to play this game. He knows the situation he's in.
He knows the toys he has to work with.
Yes, he does.
Strong candidate is in the game.
Blitz coming. Warner over the middle. Conwell. And he fights for the first down yardage and got it to Bucky Jones. Got the free ride for about 6 yards. We have had 6 turnovers tonight. The Rams up by a touchdown going into the fourth quarter. Was a starter for 3 years, then had 4 knee operations on a devastating knee. Falk picks up about 1.5 yards.
It seems like Mike Martz just wants to continue to pound Marshall Falk, hoping he breaks one like he did against Carolina last week, excuse me, that he broke the 3rd play of the game for 71 yards. And if he can't get what he wants, he just throws a pass down the field to convert the first down and starts over.
I like what he does, though. He hands him the ball, and then the next 1 or 2 plays, he'll come back and throw Marshall Falk the ball.
Well, with this offense, Marshall Falk will throw the ball. Robinson at the New England 48-yard line. We talked at the beginning of the broadcast about, the greatest show on earth, bringing this high wire act in here. The turnovers have hurt them tonight because they haven't been able to score very many points. Usually they overcome them with a lot of big plays.
Yeah, but their defense has really bailed them out. Antoine Smith on the 3-yard line, fumbling going in when the score could have been 17-7. So you wind up in a different situation where your defense is offsetting those ones you're making on offense.
3rd and 4. Kroll has the first down at the 38-yard line.
I mentioned it when Torrey Holt dropped the ball early in this game, the second ball that was thrown, the first one to him. If the Rams do have an Achilles heel because they throw so much, it's when the balls are dropped. What we're seeing tonight in the 3rd down situations, just everybody hanging on to the football. They've had very few drops tonight. Therefore, Mike Martz can call the plays he wants to the people he wants.
New England's defense needs to step up. They can ill afford to get down to 2 scores to these guys. Falk struggles for extra yards down to the 35.
One of the big things that this offense does is it makes you defend the entire field. You see 9 balls thrown over 15 yards, and then you look at the amount. 25 passes thrown in the 15. And take a look at the middle. Look at this. He just loads it up. Well, look at that. And look at that. And look at that.
Loads it up everywhere.
I was just going to say, you start hitting circles on this, and they're everywhere.
2nd 2nd and 7. Warner to Bruce. He's so great after the catch. He makes that first instinctive move. 7 catches for Bruce.
Now, I would venture to say, if he makes this play on turf, he's gone. Because watch his feet slip out. Ty Law, now look. Say he can make the turn, but he can't hold his footing. It slips ever so slightly, the left foot. And it's just a little unsure for him.
I'd give a little credit to that throw.
Oh, perfect.
A heartbeat.
Warner with a pump, wants to go deep. Now he's going to run, and Kurt Warner gets out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, you don't see him run very often, but when he looked to the outside and he saw no linebackers, no safeties, no corners, he said, look at that, watch this. Wow, there's nobody out here.
And then look at how intelligent he is. He doesn't try and pick up 1 or 2 extra yards. He knows how he makes his living.
He has now run for a grand total of 21 yards this year.
Hey.
He's got to catch Dan Marino, isn't he?
A couple more years. 2nd and 3. Falk. Nice cut. Falk, first down.
Oh, man, did he get a block by Pace? Orlando Pace on the outside just buries one of the defensive guys.
The thing that I think,
Watch this, Joe. Watch Orlando Pace. Here he comes right in your face. Look at this. It's a boom.
oh, ouch. That's what's known as giving yourself up for the team.
Pace was the first player ever to win 2 Outland trophies at Ohio State. The first pick in the '96 draft. He's been a fixture at left tackle ever since. Warner, great protection. Wide open, the fullback, Hodgins, touchdown.
You cannot give any quarterback time to be able to stand in a pocket, take a full pump up the field, reload, reset, and then swing it out to the flat.
And how happy is Hodgins? Coming into this game, he had 1 rush, 1 catch all year, and that's his first touchdown.
Look at the time. Pump, downfield, nothing. And then out to the right. Of course there's nobody there because you've pumped down the field and everybody's in the end zone.
Warner now with 369 yards passing. When you've got Bruce and Prohl and Holt and Canada and Falk and Conwell, the last guy you're going to cover is Hodgins. He gets the touchdown. They'll be moving into CMGI Field next door for the 2002 season. Kevin Falk to receive the kickoff, very short. Falk at the 20 on the run to the 35-yard line. Neither one of these teams has been burned on kickoff returns tonight, although they come in the 2 worst cover teams in the league. We've got a timeout, 10:23 to go in the game. But first half offensively, New England has stalled on offense. They have punted, thrown an interception, and punted back-to-back.
That's bad, right
times they've had the ball.
When you get 12 plays, only 42 yards, that's bad.
Nearly every throw tonight has been short. Brown at midfield. The Rams say no catch. The officials say yes, it was.
Just to give you an idea of the difference between these offenses tonight, St. Louis has had 20 plays, 19 passes, and 1 run over 10 yards. That was the 4th play over 10 yards by New England. And this is an excellent catch. That's, again, a nice job by Troy Brown.
Joe, and of those 20 plays over 10 yards, 7 different guys were involved at least once.
There they are. There's the numbers we're talking about.
Timeout.
Brown, by the way, approaching his 4th 100-yard game of the season. He has right now. They'll need him to catch some more. 43 to go from Foxborough. The Rams by 14 points. New England with the ball at midfield, needing 2 scores. Brady with a strike to Patton to the 22. Keep in mind the Rams playing without 4 injured starters on defense.
Well, keep in mind New England is now pressing the ball down the field like they had to. They sort of kept everything close until they had to open it up. David Patton on the outside. Troy Brown runs the short one. David Patton does a real nice job of getting upfield, and that just gives you an idea of the strength of Tom Brady's arm.
Brady against the blitz. And a solid tackle by Rich Cody. That could have gone for a lot of yards for Charles Johnson.
Well, I'll tell you what, Aeneas Williams was on the blitz as a corner, and he just drilled Tom Brady. When you have a clear shot at the quarterback, you take it. And Aeneas Williams just did. Here he comes. Look at number 35. Nobody touches him. Bam! And I mean, he hits him right in the chest with a helmet.
That's a solar plexus job.
Kevin Falk in the backfield. He's number 33. Brady throws to Falk coming out of the backfield. A little circle route down to the 10-yard line. That will be a first down, New England. And you can tell they feel a sense of urgency right now.
Yeah, and it's nice, too, when you have a quarterback that's getting the protection he's getting from that offensive line. They're giving him time to throw the ball.
Well, we talked about it earlier in the game, the decisiveness with which he throws. He gets back. When he hesitates and pumps like he did on the interception by London Fletcher, that's what happens. Here he gets the ball out, sees the routes very quickly, and gets the completions.
It is first and goal. The nose of the ball just inside the 10. Brady for the end zone. Patton, touchdown. Well, that didn't take long, did it?
No, it did not.
Not if they want to go over 10 yards. All of a sudden, the crowd has reappeared back in this game. Nice inside corner route. Watch this throw. Right over Dexter McClendon. The pupil and the teacher, Drew Bledsoe, watching on the sidelines.
Vinatieri for the point after. 5 plays on the drive, all passes, 65 yards.
Well, I tell you what, this young man is very impressive. Again, if he has time to throw the ball, he knows where he's going to throw. He can get it there.
Other than the one throw that London Fletcher picked off, he's been very efficient. 18 for 27.
When Tom Brady was at Michigan, he was sitting behind Brian Griese. He was a starter at the time. He considered leaving, and the coaches said, you know, we think you can be a player. We'd like you to stay here and compete for the job. He started as a junior, then as a senior. He had to alternate through the first few games with Drew Henson. It was a very uncomfortable situation. He would play a quarter. Henson would come in and play a quarter. Then they would decide later who was going to come out and play in the second half. It was very difficult for him, but he led them down the stretch, finished 20-5 as a starter. And the guy is so honest. He said, I thought I had it all figured out at Michigan. I got here and I went, whoops, I got to start all over.
Yeah, it's nice to see Bledsoe. They sit there and they talk to each other quite a bit, and Bledsoe has helped them an awful lot.
Bledsoe's been his biggest fan. Trun candidate will wait for the kick. 7:46 to go from New England. It's now a one-touchdown game. Candidate from the 5. Can't use that speed. Got out to the 27. More on Tom Brady from Susie.
And Mike, Tom Brady leading a late game comeback is nothing new as quarterback so far.
He's had a couple of defining games so far. 5-2 as a starter. If he brings him back in this one, he could be 6-2. Falk against the blitz, runs right by it. Boy, he is just a joy to watch.
Tabucky Jones is in such a hurry to get up the field. He goes flying right by Marshall Falk. Look at this, up the field. James Hodgins does a nice job of reaching out and touching someone, but he really didn't have to because he just flew by him.
He's been held to 107 combined yards tonight. That's a victory for the defense. to get to the first down marker.
He's got it.
Shoved back by Brewski and company.
He's got a first down.
You know, it's easy to say in hindsight, but when you look at Marshall Faulk and realize that only one school in the entire country recruited him to play running back, and that's all he was going to play. He told everybody else, not going to be a defensive back. He went to San Diego State and just destroyed everybody else.
How about Rich Gannon? Same situation. They wanted him to play anything but quarterback.
And Kurt Warner, recruited by one school, Northern Iowa, didn't get the chance to play till he was a senior.
Dreams can come true in the NFL.
Kennedy cut down after a gain of a yard.
Willie McGinnis, you know, it's a little bit unfair. I think when Bill Belichick talked about the Michael Strahan game that he had against the Rams with the Giants, Willie McGinnis was a guy that he felt like could have that kind of football game. Now, Willie McGinnis is coming back off a back surgery, and he's really only been near full strength for the last 4 games. Michael has played sensationally all year.
That was Marshall Faulk out front blocking for Trung Kennedy.
Blitz coming. Great job of picking it up, and Warner to Faulk in the flat. Nice catch. Tries to get extra yardage and can't. That offensive line has picked up blitz after blitz.
Adam Timberman, number 62. He picks up the blitz. Adam Timberman, watch this. Boom, he goes back to the inside. Here comes a pass out to Marshall Faulk. Watch this catch.
Now,
all hands.
The other thing that Kurt Warner did is Willie McGinnis was on a blitz, and he peeled back a little bit towards Marshall Faulk. So Kurt just held the ball, made him come to him, and created a throwing lane.
We're going to call another timeout here. The Rams are. Marshall Faulk is standing by the referee. Wait until the clock goes down to 1 second. Kurt Warner.
That's 2 they have used. 1 left for the Rams, 2 left for New England. 4:59 to go. The contrasting styles of Mike Martz and Bill Belichick come together on 3rd and 7.
And if you're Kurt Warner, I think Marshall Faulk's the guy you try and get the ball to.
60,000 on their feet. Here comes the blitz again. Faulk. They ended up with Roman Pfeiffer on him again, and there's no way any linebacker in football can cover Faulk.
You said this beginning, it's not fair. There isn't a linebacker, and Roman Pfeiffer is not going to stay with Marshall Faulk. And this ball was hanging in the air. Watch it.
The thing is you've got to give Mike Martz an awful lot of credit because he creates this mismatch with his formations. He's got to feel now what Bill Belichick is trying to do defensively, and that's a celebration by a head coach that calls the plays and got exactly what he expected.
Another blitz. Faulk on the toss. Saw something and cut it back inside to the 32.
I'm sorry, but this is classic Faulk. And when you watch this cut he makes, Terrell Davis always told us he's only allowed 1 cut. This is 1 cut by Marshall Faulk that he makes. He's, like you said, he saw something to the inside. Watch this. He's going left, and then bang, he's already back to the inside. Look at that block on Brewski, number 54, up in the air. Marshall Faulk picks up 8 yards.
And if you're New England, you can't let them get any closer. You've got to blitz. You've got to do whatever you can to keep them right here, to not allow them an opportunity to try a field goal to make this a 2-score game.
69 rushing, 70 receiving for Marshall Faulk. Trying to add to his total here. Will not.
You know, we talk about Marshall Faulk, and we talked about it at the beginning of the show, but when you see what Marshall Faulk does, all of his stuff, take a look at Marshall Faulk. Here he is on a toss, back to the inside, picks up about 7. Then you see Marshall Faulk. That's Brewski, the linebacker. He nails him. Then here comes a touchdown. Rolls into the middle, and then knocks over 2 guys to get in the end zone from 2 yards out. That's Marshall Faulk.
The most complete player in the game.
Bill Belichick said, how do you defend this guy? I mean, he's been looking at him for years.
Apparently you don't. 3rd and a short 3. Blitz coming. Faulk. First down and more. Well, you send everybody after him, knowing it's going to be a run or a short pass. You're trying to put pressure on, and Falk gets just enough and gets up very slowly.
He sets up everybody,
He
Joe.
set it up perfect, but the other thing is New England, when you bring this many people, you've got to get everybody to take the gaps. What happens is the offensive line, again, does a terrific job of sealing. And look at how patient Marshall is. He lets his guys take the blocks. He lets New England's defensive backs come up the field and do whatever they need to do, and then makes the cut off of it.
Looking at the knee of Marshall Falk, who's had 2 surgeries in the space of less than a year. Fumble by Canada, and he does the smart thing, covers it up at the 30. Didn't try to pick it up, and now New England will stop the clock with 2:31 to go, although they signaled timeout and they lost a couple of seconds before they stopped it. Good news for the Rams. Marshall Falk right back on the field.
Here comes Marshall Falk, and it looks like his knee hits on a helmet. He doesn't stay out long, does he?
No,
I mean,
he
you got
doesn't.
Tron Candidate. These two guys, they came into this game. Between the two of them, they were off just from the line of scrimmage, 950 yards rushing.
Hope you stay tuned for SportsCenter. Dan Patrick and Stuart Scott coming along. Who will the National League most valuable player be? Bonds or Sosa? Do you love or hate Jeff Gordon and Chris Berman along with the top 10 plays? Log on to ESPN.com for more. The one great thing about this team that is rarely, if ever, mentioned is the offensive line. You can't throw for all these yards and run for all these yards without an offensive line that is giving you great pass protection and opening up holes.
And I'll tell you, this offensive line has had everything thrown at it tonight.
2nd and 16, yet another blitz coming. Warner throws complete. Holt down to the 18-yard line. They need to reach the 15 for a first down. But more importantly, they are within easy field goal range again.
When this offense operates at its optimum level, that means guys aren't dropping the ball. Interceptions aren't thrown in large amounts. They're really unstoppable because they eat up such large chunks of yards. And then they've showed you before just how tough they are. Mike Martz, during the bye week before Carolina last week, wore a T-shirt that said finesse coach.
Right.
Because everybody called his football team a finesse team. Well, he proceeded to go out and rush for 337 yards against the Carolina Panthers.
481 yards tonight. They average 417. Psychologically, what they do to you, first they scare you to death, and then after you see them on the field, they depress you.
Well, and they're right about at their average on grass. We talked about 28 points. They're at 24.
You know, one of the other things, too, is when they come out on the field and you look at the other team as they're loosening up, Joe, they're all looking at these guys saying, you know, this is speed like they don't see it in a bunch.
You can't practice against it. What Bill Belichick did in practice this week is he had his scout team receivers line up 3 yards ahead of the ball to try and simulate the guys getting downfield against his secondary.
3rd and a short 4. Falk. Boy, he gets the big yards every time. The guy's only 211 pounds, but he's as good an inside runner as there is. And we will get to the 2-minute warning. The Rams just trying to salt this one away. They're up by a touchdown. If they can make it a 2-possession game, they're well on their way to their 8th victory in 9 tries. All right, thank you, guys. Exactly 2 minutes to go here. 24-17, but the Rams
taking a knee.
Excellent position. New England with no timeouts left, and they can't do anything about this. Mike Martz, I think, was best described by another coach a couple of years ago as a play caller as ruthless. But he is not cruel. He is not going to go ahead and try to add points to this. He's just going to get out of here with a 24-17 win.
Well, as I sat with him earlier today and visited, and I brought up the term, I said, you've been referred to as a ruthless coach. He said, to me, that is the ultimate compliment. And he said, what I try and do is I try and instill that same attitude in my players. I want them to go out there and feel like they have to beat the world.
This was a huge game for New England. The people up here thought they had a real shot, and it would be a defining moment in their season. even in a loss, it may be a defining moment in the season because they held the Rams to 24 points. They played pretty well.
It will be for everyone except the New England Patriots football team. Bill Belichick takes no satisfaction out of losing a football game. Tom Brady has learned something about what do you have to do when you get a turnover at midfield. You can't give the ball right back to anybody, whether it be the Rams or anyone else.
You know how important Antoine Smith is. I mean, the guy plays his heart out, but to fumble the ball on the 2-yard line and give the ball back to the Rams, and then they go the length of the field.
The difference between a 17-7 football game with maybe the Rams not getting a chance to get in and score.
Mike Martz grew up idolizing Air Coryell. It's one of the reasons he got into coaching. He may have done Air Coryell one better.
Well,
this is some offense, and now it's some defense to go with.
Last week he combined that with ground Chuck.
That's right.
So now
he also worked for Chuck Knox.
He's got them both ways going.
Took a page out of that playbook as well. Bill Belichick and Mike Martz, two of the most respected coaches in the National Football League. St. Louis will go to 8-1, and it's back to 500 for the New England Patriots. Our final score, St. Louis 24, New England 17. For our entire ESPN crew, this is Mike Patrick saying goodnight from Foxborough. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Good night, everybody.